Alright, YouTube. It's been a couple of days since I've uploaded anything on YouTube. I think 3, 4, but just relaxing, taking time off, getting ready for Christmas itself, saving up a little bit. Got a few things in today. As you can see, I got this from the UK and it got shipped over, but they put it in an envelope instead of a box. That was pretty stupid on their part. Something heavy could have got. I gotta see what kind of condition this is, you know. I'm having to turn this back over. And I got another shipment coming in, some newer stuff, well, basically a backlog of stuff that hasn't came yet. So we're going to hold off, and that'll be the last video of the day. Today we're going to talk about some console news and what's going on. Basically the Activision deal and all that. Man, crazy. Now, I'm a person about all consoles. You know, I buy all the consoles, but I have not purchased the Xbox X, or should I say the Series X. And I always put that in whenever something big, humongous come out, or you know, a couple games, then I get it. Because with the Xbox One, I was really disappointed in. You know, I bought that, and I only got like a 2 handful worth of games on it. The exclusives they had was the letdown. I mean, coming from Xbox to Xbox 360, all those wonderful exclusives, I expected the Xbox One to be humongous, and it wasn't. Phil boosted the hardware up over the PlayStations, and still he didn't take advantage of it. What games took advantage of the Xbox? You know, besides the big three, that's all he had was the big three, and that became the butt of all Xbox jokes, right? Well, the Series X came out, and he didn't even have the big three with those. He had Forza. Halo was a letdown, but Forza was the only game left, and it's like about 15 of those. Well, not 15, but it feels like 15. It's a whole bunch of those, and that's been pushing. Yes, there's been other type exclusives helping out, you know, such as Flight Simulator and a few others, but at the same time, Phil did something that was different. He basically pushed a game service over his hardware. First, he was all about hardware, how powerful, beefed up it is. But when the Series X came back, he held it back. And what I mean by that is, he told the game publishers, if you make something on this, it has to be also compatible with the last gen. So all that power he put into the Series X, as powerful, beefed up it is held back from last generation. Some Sony games has done this, but then we got, you know, the PS5 upgrades, and then finally we're getting pushed with first party into PS5 only. So finally that time has come. But the Xbox Series X has also disappointed me. Why? Because Game Pass. Yes, Game Pass is huge, it's big, it's now Xbox bread and butter. It's a good game deal. But this is why it's an issue with me and why Sony sees it. Yes, you know, I will get with Sony issues in another video coming. Well, it's the second video. We're going to get into Sony's issues, but right now we're with the Xbox. And that deals with a day one stuff going to the Game Pass. Yes, it sounds wonderful, but Phil did something hurtful towards Xbox community, Xbox fans, everything. He basically killed off the Series X. You beefed up your consoles just to basically kill them off. Here you put everything into your Game Pass, a subscription service, and guess what? It's an app. That means I can put it on PC. I don't need to buy the Xbox Series X. And that's something I'm really considering. You know, I'm holding back, you know, because I'm still waiting for these other type exclusives. We're going to get into that in a moment, but I just don't see it, you know. There's a lot. Yes, the Game Pass is way better than a PlayStation subscription, and we're gonna get into that in the next video. But I just don't see it. You know, I mean, like all this is a backlog. It's a backlog because I mean, I've got a backlog of PlayStation stuff. I got, you know, a backlog of Nintendo stuff. And that's what Game Pass feels like, a backlog. You know, it's just easier access, you know, on digital wise. But if you're a collector like me, you like to have the physical stuff. Yeah, I mean that's apples and oranges. You got a community who loves it. You got a community who like, hey, digital is the way to go. I'm more worried about digital because I got burnt by the PC, as in I think it's GOG or one of those origin or whatever it was. I had a subscription base. I was buying, you know, game bundle deals, and then all of a sudden all my games disappeared. I put in for a complaint, never got the games back. I never got my money back. I didn't spend too much, but I'm just saying that's why I don't do digital like that no more. You know, like Humble used to have a fantastic deals, and I don't do it no more like I used to. I used to be on it, but I don't want to get burnt. I mean, anyways, PC games are at bargain deals anyway, right? So I just stick with physical. You know, I've always been a collector. I tried, you know, digital, but now I'm back with collecting. That's just how I feel. But this video basically goes around what Phil just recently did. You know, if you know anything about the Activision slash Xbox deal, that's been a huge issue. I've done my best to like step back because I see the good in Game Pass. I see what Xbox trying to do. It's basically their last last stand. Xbox Series X, there's no reason to get that. Game Pass is their bread and butter. They've given up on it. Why make the console? This is PlayStation's argument. Why put everything, including your first party stuff, as day one onto the Game Pass? Because you're killing off your console. There's no reason to buy it physical. Why? You can just get it on a game deal at a better deal. And Sony sees this as it kills a certain margin of profit when you put something out for a year or two as exclusive on your console, keeping your PlayStation based console, and then bringing it to PC or your services, you know. And I see it, that's the way to go. Some things you can put as day one, but when you put in your big hitters, well, I mean, Xbox really don't have no big hitters besides Forza, but they put in that as day one. Well, I mean, PlayStation, it has that sense of we gotta first, you know, tap into the console market, get as much money we can out of that, and then we port. Makes sense. You're making your maximum. Xbox don't have to worry because they got all the monies anyway. But it's something that Phil really said that just it's pure desperation. You know, like I said, I did my best to step away from it. But he really put his foot knee deep into the shit. Okay. This man said Sony is purposely delaying all this, doing whatever it is to shrinken or small the Xbox as his competition to win. Phil, what are you smoking? What that is the dumbest ish we ever heard. Year after year since the Xbox One, we've complained about exclusives. What's the games? You put so much into your stage presentation and showcasing up, oh, look at all these exclusives we have, and it's just not the AAA. You know, besides your big three. And year after year, it got smaller and smaller. And yes, we see other things bringing games to Xbox, but I mean, it's no competition. Sony has, you know, put all their gamble into the exclusive because they got the console. They know what sells the console. Why put everything to service? Then they might as well kill the console off and just do an application based on either PC or TV service, right? You even said making it a box version would make it too costly, and I think you're still trying to push that out. You don't need an app box. That's too expensive. Why? You got a game console. What happened to the hardware you were so proud of? I mean, dang, so disappointing. You have the exclusives and you've given up on them. Xbox 360 had wonderful exclusives, and I've waited so long. You know, Brute Force was one of those, and what's the stuff? You tried with Crackdown 3, but that hit the crunch and delays and just too much. You put too much into it in forgetting what made the games, you know, and that's why Crackdown 3 fell. It just was a letdown. You had an exclusive with Platinum, and you canceled it. So you did what Microsoft always does best, buying out everything. Because you got the monies, so you might as well buy everything like how Bill Gates did. He bought all the little apps and stuff and turned it into one big iOS, or what we want to say, UI, Windows. Very successful, but yeah, we saw what you did. You know, so you created a monopoly with your services. No other could do it. And then, you know, finally the courts are in the favor, and this is what's going to happen now. You try and create a monopoly by buying all these other labels, and they were multi-console, but you try and turn it exclusive. You made a big ass lie about Bethesda, and then you turned it all exclusive. It's like you don't know how to do your own exclusives. What's the point of having your prior first party and not doing nothing with them? Just to take over games that's well established, that's multi-console. That's rubbish. The thing is, you've had a good structure with your game services, as in you could have taken the PC games that were exclusive and bring it to Xbox. There's so many PC games that would boost your catalog up alone. And then you got these new labels you bought and purchased, and you could profit multi-console. Sony had an issue with that, and you saw they lost out. They had to bring the show over to Xbox with the PlayStation logo on it, or you know, the PlayStation Studio logo on it. But that was the best way to go about it, or they were going to lose the whole contract with MLB, you know. But still, I mean, what Sony is doing and what you're claiming are two different things. Sony is purchasing studios, yes, but they're giving the freedom as these studios can still bring those multi-console games to still have the freedom to bring it multi-console. Bungie, Destiny still will remain multi-console. But they know that they need those services that Bungie is doing to bring it to other services up there. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to build up on that label, and they're going to say, hey, we're going to fund you this money, and you can make this as an exclusive for us as a brand new IP. Or we got other titles that exclusive, but we need your assistance at this wonderful online services you're doing. Bring that over to this. That's smart. That's how you build up. They didn't hide that. They've been put that out. They got all these other things, and like, they're funding it. From Software, they got now Armored Core as well. You know, the Armored Core 6, but you know, now that's exclusive, and they funded it. I mean, it's that, you know, they pay majority of this, and they're bringing their studios over here. Why not take advantage of it? Why not say, hey, we got this title. How about you go ahead and make that for us, and we're going to go ahead and fund it for you. At the same time, you're learning, and you can build yourself up, and whatever games you have, you can still put in multi-console if you want to. I mean, like this, they're showcasing. They showed Crash Bandicoot. Do you know how many stupid comments I saw? Like, oh, PlayStation Studio. Crash has been sold off from Naughty Dog for longest. It's been an Activision game, multi-console. And the last Crash game, and now this one. I mean, like, how you gonna do the research? But the thing that kills me is Phil Thomas. There, I mean, like, Phil really desperate mode. How is Sony like turning you smaller when you got all the monies? You've always been bigger, as in you can buy whatever. Sony has been building itself up, you know, since breaking off from Nintendo from the PS1, you know, and they've been doing pretty good, you know, and they studios here, they gonna go flock to it. But I mean, like, Phil, what you doing with all these other games? Your studios, what have you done with Rare? What has Rare been doing in this? It's like shovelware, or like, you're not taking full advantage. You know, as a person who does business, you don't understand business gaming wise, and I mean, I don't understand. For years, you've been boasting about all these games and stuff. You got all these studios. What the hell are they doing? Why are you not putting your franchise to them? Instead, you want to take games they were doing already, well-established multi-console. The new game's going to be multi-console, and gobbling it up and making them exclusive. You proved that with Bethesda. That was a huge backstab. and you're basically trying to make a monopoly. You're basically trying to make PlayStation smaller. That's what you're doing. I mean, this is nothing new. Other people have said that. Even the Xbox fanboys see it now. I mean, well, you still got your diehard ones, but those are the toxic gaming community we're not going to talk about. But I don't get it. I don't get what Phil Spencer. You had all these pie charts and all this of all these exclusive and where Xbox going this year. You slapped everybody in the face with hardly nothing. Halo was a letdown. Um, Game Awards, you had nothing to show. What are you doing with your own labels? What you doing with all these exclusives you had before and just collecting dust? Why are you stealing other franchises for yourself? And yes, I mean, Sony, like I said, Sony's done certain things on that aspect, and nothing I disagree. It's not like they bought EA and like, hey, all these sports games are now us. They didn't buy 2K and hey, you want 2K, you gotta come here for that, you know. It's just crazy. I mean, Rockstar, Microsoft already tried to buy Rockstar. That's something people don't know. People thought Sony was trying to do it. No, Microsoft made the offer, and Rockstar said, "Hey, we're going to be multi-console. We're not going to do this favorite-ish." And yeah, some of the games have been on PlayStation before, but I mean, like, we're still waiting for these ports to come over. That it hasn't happened. You know, like Grand Theft Auto Stories that still hasn't brought over. Just I don't know what Rockstar doing. There's a lot of ish going on with them. You know, they just think about Grand Theft Auto 5 and online. But Phil, I need you to pull your head out your ass. I mean, like, you damaged your own console. You're heavily relying on Game Pass, and already we're seeing you boost prices. How are you gonna boost prices on games and you really don't have no exclusives to do that for? I don't get it. I mean, everything you said prior game show wise sound promising. We got all these world exclusives and all this, and look what's gonna be day one pass and launch exclusive, and you have a few things, but if it wasn't for you gobbling these labels up, you would hardly have shit to show. What do you have to show? You got all these labels. What are they doing for you? You're just basically making them do things that they already had established. Like, we understood Bethesda, that's something you needed, you know, so we let that go. It was some of it's heartbreaking, such as Starfield and Redfall. You know, I've always been a Dishonored fan, you know, so Redfall was kind of a hit. But we can see it now. You're gonna make Doom exclusive. You're gonna make Wolfenstein exclusive. You're gonna that's trash, you know. Here you could make other things. I mean, like, here's a chance to reboot Gears of War. Stuff we've been waiting for. What's the story with Fable? You had the chance to, like, Platinum Games was in your pocket and you just basically threw it in a trash can. What you doing with Rare? What Killer Instinct? Where's the new Killer Instinct? What the hell are you doing? What's the new story on what's it well, we know about GoldenEye. We saw yeah, but what's the thing with the other thing? What's I can't remember. It just lost my mind. But you know what I'm talking about? The other thing that was on N64 and that was supposed to be Xbox. You know, with what's her name? It begins with a P. I can't think of it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like GoldenEye is the next big thing, and that was supposed to be Xbox. What happened? You had a chance to also get forgotten about IPs, and you don't do that. Well, Sony, I mean, like, they knocking it out of the park. You know, I mean, all console. I don't really pick like that. I've been a Sony fanboy right now because you know I've been collecting trophies on that first. So I've been trying to collect trophies on that. So most of the time, if it's third party, I'm gonna get it for PlayStation. But if it's like a port or something new that's going to Nintendo, I'll get on Nintendo. But we know Nintendo can't handle the newer stuff or the high. So when you said Call of Duty is gonna be 10 years now on Nintendo, how? Remember, Activision put out that Nintendo hasn't had Call of Duty because it can't do Call of Duty. So how you gonna announce 10-year deal with Nintendo? What you gonna do? Make mobile versions and bring it over? Because right now we've seen some of these other port games coming over, and it's on its last legs. It's looking really bad. We see it, like the differences in it. Nintendo needs to make a pro version. But anywho, so I had to put it out. I mean, like with Phil, like I don't get it. We're watching Xbox basically explode from the inside out. Y'all might beg a different. Yes, I understand Game Pass. Wonderful, wonderful. I wanted PlayStation services to be like that, but that's gonna be my next video. So right now, I've talked about Xbox. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm hoping for a better future. But I said that with the Xbox One, I hope the Xbox would turn around and be better. I was excited when they were getting new partners, new labels, and once again, nothing to show. We hear a whole bunch of stuff, but we see what's really happening. You're going to take stuff that's already established and take it over. That's a monopoly. But anywho, so y'all go ahead, take care. Please leave some likes, some comments, definitely hit that bell to subscribe. And always, enjoy.